You make $118,000 a year. You have a degree, a mortgage, a good credit score, a retirement account, a safe car in the driveway. By every traditional definition, you are successful. So why does a $900 car repair still scare you? Why does one unexpected medical bill still make your stomach drop? Why does your boss still have more control over your life than you want to admit? Because the most successful financial trap in America was not built for poor people. It was built for people exactly like you, people who did everything right. Welcome to the middle-class trap. It is 6:18 on a Wednesday morning. Ethan is standing barefoot in the kitchen of a house everyone told him he was lucky to own. The coffee machine is humming. The dishwasher is still full from last night. His laptop bag is open on one chair. His daughter's homework is spread across the dining table. And beside the sink, next to a ring of house keys, his phone lights up. Ethan opens the banking app. Paycheck deposited 3 days ago. Mortgage paid. Car payment paid. Student loan paid. Insurance paid. Utilities pending. Grocery delivery pending. Credit card bill due. He scrolls once, then again. $312. That is what is left. Not because Ethan is lazy. Not because he failed. Not because he gambled everything away or made one dramatic mistake. He makes $118,000 a year. He has a corporate job, a 401k, a safe car, a mortgage, a good credit score, a house in a school district people fight to enter. He did everything society told him to do. He followed the rules. He played the game. And somehow, the game still owns him. I did everything right. Why am I still scared? The house is quiet. The kind of quiet that should feel peaceful. But Ethan's chest is tight because he knows the truth. One medical bill, one broken transmission, one missed bonus, one layoff, one emergency dentist appointment, and the entire life people call successful starts shaking. This is the first lie of the middle class, that looking stable and being free are the same thing. They are not. Sometimes stability is just a cage with better furniture. The trap does not begin with one terrible choice. It begins with one reasonable choice after another. At 18, Ethan signs the first form, college. Student loans. Everyone says it is an investment. At 23, he gets the job, then the car loan. Everyone says reliable transportation matters. At 29, he buys the house. Everyone says renting is throwing money away. At 32, he upgrades the kitchen. Everyone says home value is wealth. At 34, he looks around and realizes every responsible decision came with a monthly payment attached. That is how the trap works. It does not ask you to ruin your life. It asks you to improve it, one financed improvement at a time. The system does not need Ethan poor. Poor people cannot get approved for large loans, but the system also does not want him truly free. Free people do not pay 18% interest on credit cards. Free people do not stay in jobs they hate because the mortgage is due. Free people do not answer emails at 10:30 at night because their lifestyle depends on staying useful. The ideal customer is right in the middle. High income, high credit score, high obligations, high fear. That is Ethan. Not broke enough to get sympathy. Not rich enough to stop being afraid, just successful enough to be profitable. That is the middle-class trap, a life built to look secure from the outside, while quietly making sure you cannot afford to stop. The trap closes quietly. It does not start with greed. It starts with exhaustion. Ethan works 48 hours a week on paper, but work follows him home. Messages during dinner, calls during soccer practice, a laptop open on Sunday night, a boss who says quick thing like time is free. By Friday, Ethan is tired in a way sleep does not fix, so he rewards himself. A $200 dinner, a better phone, a vacation put on the card because everyone needed a break, a newer SUV because the old sedan felt embarrassing in the driveway. None of it feels reckless. It feels earned, and he does deserve to enjoy his life. That is what makes the trap so cruel. The lie is not that you deserve comfort. The lie is that every comfort has to be purchased immediately, financed monthly, and upgraded whenever your income rises. Stress creates spending. Spending creates payments. Payments create pressure. Pressure keeps you working, and work creates more stress. It is not a lifestyle. It is a loop. The more Ethan earns, the more expensive recovery becomes. He is no longer buying things he wants. He is buying relief from the life required to afford them. One night, Claire looks at the unopened takeout boxes on the counter. The kids are asleep. Ethan's laptop is still open. Are we enjoying this life, or just financing the stress from it? Ethan does not answer, because the answer is already sitting on the counter. In receipts, in statements, in interest, the house is the crown jewel of the trap. Ethan remembers closing day. The realtor handed him the keys. Claire cried. His father slapped him on the back and said, "You made it." For a while, Ethan believed him. The first night, he walked through the empty rooms slowly, opened cabinets, touched walls, stood in the living room imagining holidays, birthdays, quiet mornings, a life big enough to fill the space. The house was not foolish. The dream was not fake. That matters. The house did give him something. Safety, pride, a place his children could grow, a sign that the years of work had produced something real. But the house also came with another set of instructions: mortgage, property tax, insurance, repairs, HOA, a roof that will eventually fail, a water heater that will choose the worst possible month, furniture that looked fine in the apartment but suddenly looks poor under new lighting. Let's say the house cost $500,000. At 6% interest over 30 years, the total cost is not $500,000. It is more than $1 million. Ethan did not buy a $500,000 house. He bought a $1 million obligation and paid for it in pieces small enough to tolerate. This is why people become house rich and cash poor. Their net worth looks respectable. Their neighborhood looks safe. Their kitchen looks renovated. But one surprise dental bill can still ruin the month. On a Sunday afternoon, Ethan's daughter sits at the dining table drawing a house with a sun above it. The same dining table he bought because the room looked empty without it. Ethan is upstairs taking a work call. His daughter waits until he comes down. "Why do you always work in the office if you bought the big house for us?" Ethan almost says the automatic answer. "Because I am building this for you. Because bills do not pay themselves. Because this is what responsibility looks like." But he looks around. The walls are painted, the rooms are full, the furniture is paid for. And somehow, he is still missing from the life he bought. That is the moment he understands something he cannot unsee. The house did not just need his money, it needed his obedience. The middle class is taught to measure the wrong thing. Net worth, equity, appreciation, asset value. But none of those numbers answer the question Ethan actually feels every month. How much room do I have to breathe? If you have $400,000 of equity in your home, your spreadsheet looks strong, but you cannot buy groceries with drywall. You cannot pay the electric bill with a brick from the chimney. You cannot tell your boss no, because Zillow says your neighborhood went up. Net worth is what you might have after selling, moving, paying fees, and rebuilding your life somewhere else. Cash flow is what decides whether you panic this Friday. That is the difference. The middle class is trained to buy things that look like assets but behave like hungry mouths. Homes that need constant capital. Cars that lose value while demanding insurance. Credit cards that turn stress into interest. Subscriptions that quietly colonize the bank account. Private school deposits. Sports fees. Premium insurance. A storage unit full of things you bought for a version of your life that never arrived. Wealthy people play a different game. They buy things that send money back. Index funds, dividend-producing assets, businesses, rental income, licensing, systems. The middle class buys proof. The wealthy buy options. And options are what Ethan is missing. Not income, not intelligence. Options, because options are what let you pause before saying yes. Ethan does not escape the trap with one dramatic decision. He does not quit his job. He does not sell everything overnight. He does not become a day trader. He does not buy a course from a man standing beside a rented sports car. He starts smaller, more dangerous than dramatic. He starts telling the truth. Step 1. Kill the image. Ethan looks at the SUV in the driveway and realizes he bought it partly because it made the house look complete. He sells it. Not because cars are evil, because the payment was owning him. He buys a used Toyota. The first week, he hates it. The second week, he notices his chest is lighter. The fastest way to become free is to stop funding the version of yourself that needs strangers to be impressed. I do not need to look wealthy to become free. Step 2. Freeze the lifestyle. Ethan gets a raise 6 months later. Normally, the raise would upgrade something. A nicer vacation, a newer phone, a better couch, a better excuse. This time, nothing changes. The extra money never enters the household spending account. It goes straight toward debt, emergency reserves, and investments. The raise does not become comfort. It becomes distance. Distance from panic. Distance from credit cards. Distance from a boss who knows he will say yes. Step 3. Buy time. Every month, Ethan buys assets. Not to look smart, not to brag, not to retire at 65 in some abstract future. He buys assets because each one is a small rebellion against needing permission. Every dollar invested is not just money saved. It is a future hour bought back. A Tuesday afternoon, a school pickup, a quiet morning, the right to ignore a 9:48 p.m. message without feeling the whole life shake. That is the real luxury. Not the car, not the kitchen, not the zip code. The ability to say no without everything collapsing. 1 year later, Ethan is in the same kitchen, 6:18 in the morning, same coffee machine, same house keys, same dining table. But something is different. The phone lights up again. This time, it is not a warning. It is an automatic transfer. Money moving into an investment account before anyone has a chance to spend it. Ethan opens the banking app. There is no miracle. He is not rich. He is not free yet. The mortgage still exists. The job still exists. The world still costs money. But there is a gap now, a small one. A few $1,000s of breathing room. A credit card balance that no longer grows. A used car in the driveway. An emergency fund with enough money to turn disaster into inconvenience. Then the phone buzzes. His boss. Ethan looks at it. For years, his body would have answered before his mind. Tight chest, fast thumb, automatic yes. This time, he waits. Not long, just long enough to feel the difference. That pause is the first real luxury he ever bought. Not with status, not with credit, with margin. The middle-class trap only works if you keep agreeing to the version of success that keeps you tired, indebted, and impressive from the outside. But you can stop. You can stop upgrading the cage. You can stop calling payments progress. You can stop letting your paycheck become a monthly allowance for things that keep you obedient. The next 10 years are going to pass anyway. You can spend them making the bank rich, or you can spend them quietly buying your life back. The math is in front of you. The choice is yours. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what is the biggest middle-class trap purchase